In our constant rush, it's so easy to miss a simple truth that real meaning, real beauty, is often hiding in the quiet moments of a totally ordinary day. So, to explore this idea, we're going to follow a little story. Let's dive in. But first, I want you to think about this for just a second. When was the last time a day with absolutely no big plans or major events actually felt special? Just hold on to that thought as we step into a quiet morning with a man named Daniel.
All right, so our story begins just as the sun is coming up. We meet Daniel as he's waking up, and not to some blaring alarm clock, but just to the gentle start of a new day. So, this one morning, Daniel woke up a little bit earlier than usual. The light coming in through his window was really soft and warm. He just stretched and looked outside at the quiet street where just a few cars were passing by. And he felt calm. There's a really unique kind of peace to a morning like that, isn't there? He slowly got out of bed, walked over to the kitchen, and made himself a cup of coffee. I think a lot of us know this feeling so well, that smell of fresh coffee just filling up the room. It was such a simple little moment, but it just felt genuinely nice. He sat there by the window, watching the world slowly wake up, and he just smiled. It felt like it was going to be a good day.
After his coffee, Daniel decides to do something simple. He's just going to go for a walk. He's thinking the fresh air will help him think a little more clearly. And this simple act, just stepping outside, it builds right on top of that calm feeling he started with.
So he puts on his shoes and steps outside. And right away, he's met with this sensation. The morning air was cool and refreshing. That simple physical feeling, it kind of sets the stage for everything that happens next. As he walks to a small park nearby, something interesting starts to happen. He begins to actually notice things. He hears a bird singing up in a tree. He sees the way the leaves are moving in the wind. He spots a woman watering her plants. Then at the park, he watches an old man reading a newspaper and a young couple jogging by. I mean, these are tiny, everyday scenes, the kind of stuff we usually just filter out like background noise. But today, for some reason, Daniel was taking it all in. This simple act of just slowing down literally opened his eyes to all the life that was happening all around him. And it brings us to a really key insight. Sometimes slowing down helps us notice the things we usually miss. So, while Daniel is sitting there on that park bench, just enjoying the slow pace of the morning, something unexpected happens. It's not some big dramatic event, but a small human interaction that kind of shifts the whole course of his day. A friendly-looking man sits down next to him, smiles, and says hello. And then he asks this simple, classic question. It's not profound. It's just an opening. Daniel gives a little laugh and says, "Not really. Today, I just wanted to walk and relax." And what they talked about was perfectly ordinary. The weather, the park, that peaceful feeling you get in the morning. The conversation wasn't long or deep, but its impact, that was significant. It was just a nice, pleasant connection. Before leaving, the man says this, and this is the line that just lands with Daniel and really stays with him. Sometimes the best days are the simple ones. It just perfectly crystallized everything Daniel had been feeling that morning without even knowing it. With those words just replaying in his mind, Daniel starts his walk home. And this is where all the little experiences of the morning start to come together into one single powerful thought. As he's walking, the streets are now much, much busier. There are more people, more cars, the shops are all opening. The city is totally awake now. But that inner calm, that peaceful feeling from the morning, it stayed with him. It wasn't just washed away by all the noise. When he gets home, he thinks about his morning, and it hits him that nothing extraordinary actually happened. He just woke up, drank coffee, went for a walk, and talked to someone. These are profoundly simple actions. And yet, somehow, the day already felt truly meaningful.
And this brings us right to the core takeaway from Daniel's experience. Happiness doesn't always need these big, exciting events. It can, and very often does, come from the quiet moments, from the small conversations, from simply paying attention. This leaves us with a pretty provocative question to think about. What if we've all been looking for happiness in the wrong places? What if the truly memorable parts of our lives aren't the graduations and the big trips, but the thousands of small, quiet moments that we barely even notice while they're happening?
I'll leave you with this final thought, which I think perfectly captures the heart of this idea. Perhaps the art of a happy life isn't really about creating big moments at all, but about learning to see the value and the memory in all the small ones.